I found this real wood $40 coffee table at the thrift store, but with some time, TLC, and paint. Just watch till the end for the transformation. Disclaimer, I'm still learning the art of furniture flipping, so please watch with patience and understanding. If you notice something you'd do differently or I shouldn't be doing at all, please remember your own early projects, the trial and errors. Remember, I am a novice and will make mistakes. Just keep that in mind. I saw this coffee table at the thrift store and I absolutely fell in love with it. I didn't fall in love with the color. It also had a lot of scratches and scuffs on the top layer and had these ring knobs on it as well that I was deciding what I should flip them out for. So the first step in the long process is to obviously sand everything. One thing we were worried about was that underneath the stain, you can still see the scratches. So we were worried that it wasn't going to come off, but thankfully with some sanding and a lot of time, it did. I loved the look of the wood, the color, but it was a little too light for us. On the sides, it had a lot of little crevices to get into. I got this oven cleaner to help me get into all of those little cramped areas. So I sprayed it on, left it for around 30 minutes. And then with a scrub brush, just scraped off all of that dark stain. It took me such a long time that I actually ended up having to sand it anyways underneath. After watering it down and letting it dry for a full day in the sun, I also did a water and vinegar solution to spray the inside of the drawers to take out any of that old wood smell. While we were sanding, we realized that the shelf underneath was actually not real wood also. It was particle board, which we were so sad about because we liked the look of it, but then we decided to leave it off. I'd love to know what you think, if we should add the shelf or leave it as is. I know that this is a step that when you do furniture flips, no person enjoys is sanding. So I had to do so much sanding on the underside. This really is a labor of love when you're doing it. This cute little smiley face after I put the sander on, and I just thought it was so funny. So a few days before, I wanted to see what kind of knobs I wanted to get and the sizes. I went ahead and I put some quarters down, nickels, and also some pennies to see which one I liked the most. I ended up ordering gold dark brass knobs that are actually the size of pennies because I liked that one the best. And then before putting on the paint and the stain, I went ahead and sanded the entire thing with 320 sandpaper grit. And I accidentally realized I was not going with the grain, I was going against it. I wasn't even thinking at this point. After doing research, I saw that if you did a grayish, which is like a gray beige paint wash before, it helps with the orange undertones. On camera, it doesn't look grayish at all. It looks beige, but trust me, in person, it looked a little more gray. So I just went ahead and painted it on and then wiped it off a few seconds later, making sure I let it dry for a day. Some research, I saw if I mixed weathered oak with special walnuts in a 50-50 mix, it was gonna turn out the color that I really wanted. I mixed it for a minute and then I went ahead and painted it on. I did 2 coats so I can really get that brown color. When I wiped it on, it was kind of sort of similar, but it didn't take. Even when I left it on for 5 to 10 minutes, it was still very light, or it had orange undertones underneath. So I got this paint in salted pretzel that was a lot more closer to what I wanted. It is this light chocolatey brown. So I did 9 parts water and 1 part paint, and then I went ahead and just did it on top of the stain. Again, it's probably not the best thing to do, but I was just in the learning process and I just really wanted to get the color I was envisioning, and I was not going to stop until I had it. So I did 2 coats of the washed down paint. And if you see, it did slightly warm up the coffee table. So I'm just painting it on and then leaving it for a minute or 2 and then wiping it off. With it still being slightly orange to cool it down, I went with this acrylic craft paint in English Ivy Green. So I went again with another paint on top, letting it dry for days in between, don't worry. And it was the color I wanted. On the left is the before, and then on the right is with the green. So it is a lot more cooler and less orange, because on the color wheel, to tone down orange, you have to go in with green. So I did the paint wash on the entire thing and left it not even for a minute, just a few seconds, and then wiped it down. And then it was finally starting to look like the color I wanted. Going towards the last leg of the race is the polyacrylic. I went with this clear matte because I didn't want a gloss. I did 4 coats of the polyacrylic, waiting a day and a half between each coat to dry, and then also sanding it with 320 in between the layers and wiping it down to remove all of the dust. This is how it came out. I absolutely love it. I was not going to quit until I got the color that I really wanted. I made a lot of mistakes. I learned so many lessons, and trust me, the next time I will put them into place. The knobs look so beautiful and I just love the entire thing. I wanted a warm almost light walnut brown, not too orange, but it was cool. It was exactly what I wanted. I hope you enjoyed this video. Also learned a few of the mistakes of maybe what to do and what not to do. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.